Welcome back, everybody, to Going for Two with Jack Taylor. My name is Jack Taylor.
And my name is Hunter too.
And we are back for Super Regional Weekend. It's so awesome to have this back here in Starkville. It's been a while. It's been a couple of years, and finally have it back. And this is where we expected to be. Mm-hmm. You know, I think at the beginning of the year, if you had told us that we were here, we wouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah.
And in hosting,
are you saying that we're the team of destiny?
I'm not saying we're the team of destiny. But I'm just saying we're exactly where we're supposed to be. We're here to preview a weekend against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, a really good team, a team that a lot of us really did think were going to be a national seed and probably should have been, honestly. Really going to be a tough super regional, but we're here to preview that and to look ahead at that.
Okay, Jack, and before we get into all, baseball and everything.
The important stuff.
Yeah, the important. I know it's not a Friday morning, but what you got for Saturday morning? What do you have a Saturday morning motivation for us?
Well, it's more of a Saturday morning poem, and I'm not sure we're going to be back here before July the 4th. So I kind of wanted to throw in something, just a little safety about fireworks, I guess. So it's a poem about fireworks safety, and so roses are red, fireworks are scary. Back up, put it in reverse, Terry.
Thank you for that word.
Yeah, I mean, it's a poem that I think a lot of us can...
Fireworks safety is important.
A lot of us can understand, some people have lost hands to fireworks before. And so...
You just can't, that's really dangerous. 4th of July, you want to stay safe.
Yeah, there's 2 times a year you really need to be careful with fireworks, and it's 4th of July and New Year's. Everybody knows that. And so, this is coming up on we're less than a month away from one of the biggest firework events of the year. And so...
fireworks safety is always of top priority.
Yeah. So that's just something I just want to throw in there. Something it might have come from a viral video if you've seen that, but honestly, it's just I want y'all to be safe. I want all our listeners out there to be safe. So now we got to get into what's in store for the actual important while we're here, and it's baseball. So what do we have today, Hunter?
Okay, so we're good. Okay, our regional. Okay, it may have been
cupcake.
It may have been a cupcake regional.
But we deserved it.
Lamicki regional. All types of things it could have been. About one game was important, and that was the Campbell game.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about that game just a little bit. Then we're going to get into a super regional talk, and then we're going to give our predictions for all the super regionals that are also going on, all the other 7.
Yeah. So we're actually recording this on Friday night, so we've actually already seen half of the...
You're not supposed to tell them that. We were going to lie.
We've seen half of the first round of regionals, or the first day of regionals, I guess. And so we've seen all that. We're still going to give our predictions for how those series are going to play out and how the ones that are yet to have started, how those are going to play out as well. So we'll get to see how we're comically wrong once again. But
it's always just a tradition around here.
Yeah.
And you know what else we have today?
What's that?
Big push. Instagram questions. The easiest part of this show, as we've said multiple times, where people just simply ask us things and we sometimes give 2-word answers. It's quite easy.
Thanks, Courtney.
Thanks, everyone. I mean, Courtney.
All right. So looking back at this regional, like you said, on paper it was a cupcake regional. It kind of looked like it. There were no Power 5 teams in there at all. But like we've said before, I think we deserve that. We played a really good season, all apart from the SEC tournament. We played a season...
What are you talking about? We didn't accept our bid to that. We didn't show up.
And we played a season worthy of a top 5 national seed. And so the SEC tournament, you can say it doesn't matter, but I think that's the deciding factor between us being a top 5 seed and us being where we are as a 7th seed.
Couldn't have been the series loss against Missouri.
I guess you're right. About that. But honestly, we had a pretty easy regional and we handled it just as such.
I'll take it. We're on this side of the bracket.
Yeah. And so it was my favorite kind of regional, my favorite way for it to play out. It was that we got to play all 3 teams in our regional. We were undoubtedly the best team in our regional. We played all 3 teams. We beat them. And even though that Campbell game on Monday morning was a little bit tough, it was a little bit close. I really think that we handled it fine.
Yeah.
And we didn't have to use as much pitching in the process. So
the entire series used 7 pitchers.
No.
Seems great.
Between your first 2 starting pitchers, you get 13 combined innings from them. That's incredible. 7 innings.
What about our 3rd starting pitcher? He probably had a good day, right?
Surely he got out of the first inning.
Surely. Nope.
But 7 innings from Bednar and 6 innings from McLeod.
And then 5 from Houston Harding, our Sunday starter.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't have asked for any better than those first 2, and then Houston Harding had the best performance of his career, I think.
Yeah.
And really kind of took that game for us. And Cam James had a huge weekend at the plate. Had a home run against VCU that really kind of capped off a huge inning against them that really blew the game open against VCU. And
the VCU game was very fun.
That was awesome, especially that 6th inning. But and then the Campbell game, he took the lead back for us after a big 3-run home run for Campbell, and we kept the lead the entire time. So.
Another player that had a great outing in that Campbell game, Landon Sims.
Weird. Yeah.
You know, you'd kind of just expect him to go throw out there, get hit around a bit.
Nope.
No,
he went out there and had 3 innings. And usually in those 3-inning performances, you know, I mean, it's Landon Sims. You expect him to be nails just every time he comes out there. But he gave up a leadoff double to start off the 9th inning. And the dude just, I mean, a switch flipped. And it was like he was going to end that game right then. There was no way that Campbell was going to score. Even though I didn't really believe that in my heart, I knew that with my head. You know?
We were watching this game together, and we were both just like a little bit tense watching it. We're like,
but as soon as it ended, we were like,
that was supposed to happen. It's Landon at this point. I mean, big shout out to that Campbell team. They burnt all their pitching the past few days, and they had nothing to push at us, and they played so well defensively.
They coming in, I thought that they were going to be the team that we faced in the regional finals. They lost to VCU, I think, like 19-3 or something.
Dude, what are you talking about? VCU,
22-game win streak.
What are you talking about? That's a 2-game losing streak.
But VCU beat them in game 1, and so we were thinking, okay, well, Campbell stinks, you know. But apparently they didn't use all their pitching in that game, and they were able to save some for a game against Samford the next day. And then later that day, or was it on Sunday? I don't know how it all worked out, but they played a shootout with VCU and worked their way to the regional final. And then a guy who pitched the day before went 5 innings against us and completely shut us down.
Yeah,
you know?
He got his redemption.
Yeah.
He had a horrible outing against VCU, but then he came back against a better offense and showed up. It was really good to see. I know there was a little bit of love between the Mississippi State and Campbell fans. It was kind of going out the window there for a little bit when Campbell was threatening.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was a really, really fun regional, I'd say.
And something I always love about Starkville regionals, and you see it the same thing with Arkansas and big teams like that, you know, the 4 seed or the 3 seed, these small teams come in there and, you know, they're not supposed to win, but they really do take the hearts of a lot of these Mississippi State fans, and Campbell was like that. You know, they really did just embrace the left field lounge and the people there, and so it was really fun to see that they kind of took a Central Michigan approach to the regional, and although they weren't necessarily as fun, they still did really just capture the hearts of a lot of us.
Yeah,
so.
I got a new Instagram follower from Campbell's right fielder. That guy's pretty cool. Shout out to Grant Harris. Cool guy. Played his last college baseball game.
That dude, you know?
At least he got to play at the best venue in college baseball.
Yeah. And I can't remember his name exactly, but their shortstop, I think Zach Nito was his name.
Please transfer here.
If you ever want to transfer, we'll take you. And he had a really cool beard, you know, kind of like an Amish style beard. It was really awesome. And, you know, he was just a fan favorite the entire time he was there. And so just really, really cool to see that out. I know that's not really important, but just really awesome to see. And
it always feels kind of like regionals and super regionals, at least when we're playing like smaller schools that don't have all of this. It kind of feels like recruiting at that point. Like when you... I mean, we talked about earlier in the season, the Stanford family being like, yeah, my son's going to transfer over here. It didn't happen, but we'll just blame COVID for that one.
Yeah. And after the game, you know, the Campbell players took time to round the field and give high fives and words to the Mississippi State fans, just thanking them and everything. And then State fans in return giving them food and just trays full of food. Not really sure how that's not an NCAA violation, but I'm sure they'll look over it,
Yeah,
just in the spirit of hospitality.
Mm-hmm.
But moving forward to the Super Regional, it's what we're here for. It's what you guys are here for, and we are playing Notre Dame this weekend, and it's the first time that we've played them since the 2000 Regional, and so I don't really remember that obviously, but I know it was a classic regional and a classic ending to that, and so I expect nothing but the same thing here. So
yeah,
it should be a really, really good weekend of baseball.
Yeah, MSU State sure does feel pretty nice to have 5 straight super regional appearances. I mean,
being the only school in the country that's done that,
feels really, pretty nice.
It's really awesome.
Wow, so, I bet Ole Miss and Southern Miss have done that.
Nah, not really worried about them. But yeah, so looking forward to this. Notre Dame. I mean, is there anything that we need to know about them?
One weird. I don't know if it's like a quirk about their lineup and pitching is they've pitched and played the same guys almost every single game. Their lineup, like they have 9 guys that have started like 40 games for them, and no one else has started over like 12.
Yeah.
So like their lineup is their guys. They're not going to be moving people in and out of positions. The only thing they'll be changing is the lineup.
Yeah.
Another thing, their pitching is just the same way. They have 7 guys that they throw every weekend.
Yeah.
That you get what you get. Mm-hmm. Scouting reports should be easy, I'd assume. Hopefully Analytics University, Mississippi State, would take advantage of that. That's one thing that I haven't seen brought up at all. It's kind of the ease of like knowing like who they're going to play.
And you may think that, our lineup will look the same every single game, but we do have 2 kind of revolving positions. That's left field and third base. And in the middle of the year, in that Ole Miss series, we saw that first base kind of became a kind of a position that's up for grabs. Josh Hatcher got replaced by Luke Hancock, and that's stayed the same since then. And so our lineup does change, a fair amount, whether we notice it or not. And so. And then, obviously, in the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning, we always get those defensive replacements in to just shore up our defense and
just to let Hatch play.
Just to get Hatch some playing time. Just to let Braylon get out there and run. But
throw it to the kids. Braylon has such a good time when he's out there.
For the fans, But yeah, I mean, but it doesn't seem like Notre Dame does that, and I don't know if it's a lack of depth or if it's a lack of. Just they know their guys and they trust them.
I mean,
there's something to be said about that, whether it's...
One thing I do know about them is their fielding is fantastic. Like, their defense, great.
And that's not something you can say about us.
If we did that, I bet we wouldn't have revolving doors at 2 positions. Yeah. I mean, that's one thing about them. They play their guys in their positions because they all field well, all very athletic guys.
Yeah. I mean, good. This team, Mississippi State, we could have hit the exact same way that we've hit all year and had, a 990 fielding percentage, and we would have probably gone 25-5 in the SEC.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how much errors have cost us. Our hitting has been fine, whether you believe it or not. Our hitting has been good enough to win a lot of games, but fielding cost us a lot.
Yeah.
And I might have exaggerated that a little bit, but it definitely cost us some games.
Feels like it.
Yeah.
I mean, and we'd have an SEC championship if it wasn't for fielding errors.
Yeah.
Win one against Arkansas. We got the tie.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, so enough of that, but it's just Notre Dame, the great fielding team. I know they haven't played enough or at nearly the same competition that we have, but they play clean baseball, and there's a lot to be said about that. They've been close to the top 10 all year long, if not even higher than that.
Yeah, they were number 2 for a little bit there.
Yeah, I know that we saw that the SEC tournament didn't really matter for us or most of the SEC, but the ACC tournament mattered because Notre Dame went from being an easy top 8 seed to being a 10 seed, and
just by going 1-1.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And so you can say it's a disadvantage for us, and it might be, but no matter what, this Notre Dame team is coming in hot, and they are feeling a little disrespected, and there's a lot to be said about that.
Yeah, that's been one big thing this whole time. They've had players go to like newspapers and be like, we're going to go in there, try to sweep them, do Noble, because we think this should be our spot.
Yeah, we think that we should be hosting this, right?
Yeah, and bold claim. I mean...
See how it works out for them?
I mean, it could work well. Last time we said that something was a bold claim here, Arkansas ran over us in football. So,
yeah. Just no way the Rush 3 Joppe is going to work against us in baseball. Right?
I'm scared for football season.
No, enough about that. All right, so I don't know.
In the regional, was it 50-5 was their scoring?
They outscored their opponents 50-5. They beat UConn, I think, one time, or they might have beat Michigan. I don't know, but I know they beat Central Michigan twice, once in round 1 and once in the regional finals.
Then they played UConn in the middle.
Okay, yeah. So between those 3 games, they did have a 26-run game, which kind of skews the whole 50-5 thing. Yeah, if you score over half of those 50 runs in one game, it kind of skews it. But they scored double digits in all 3 games, and we scored double digits in one game.
I mean,
once.
I'm sure all of our games we had in hand the entire time.
I'm sure we never had to sweat it.
I'm sure we never didn't have the lead. Nope.
But one name, and it's really the only name I know from this Notre Dame team, just because we don't have ACC Network. We haven't watched a single Notre Dame game all year.
I watched them
outside of the regionals. But one name we need to know is Nico Cavadas. He is a 2021. I know he's a Golden Spike semifinalist. He's a really, really good player. We saw him hit bombs in the regional.
Yeah.
And he's a big guy, and so he's hard to miss. You will see him. You will hear his name. He'll probably hurt us a little bit. Mm-hmm. And so just be expecting that. And
you expect it to be kind of like the Stanford series with the leadoff home run from, what was his name?
Kyle Stowers.
Don't forget the name.
In the Orioles.
With Westberg?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What a team right there.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Orioles are going to be great.
Just another example of Mississippi State embracing like a guy who's going to kill him, but he's fun to watch.
Yeah.
So, I hope Cavadas has a bad weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he's a great player.
Hope we don't pitch to him.
I know he's a great player, but I hope he has a bad weekend. I really just hope that this environment for Notre Dame is just something like none of those guys have ever seen. I'm pretty sure it will be, unless there's like some random transfer in there from somewhere. But this Duty Noble Field is going to be rocking. It was impossible to find a ticket that's not general admission. And
in 2019, one of the top 3 Mississippi State, top 2 Mississippi State teams of all time, we were able to get rooftop and chairback tickets. Like
people are thirsty to get to the Dude this weekend, and I don't know if it's COVID or just hatred of Notre Dame. I don't know what it is. People want to watch baseball this weekend, and they're going to see a really, really good series. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited about it, and just remember the name, Nico Cavadas. That's the one name that we have.
If he hurts us, that's just how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, good job. Good job pitching staff at that point.
Yeah. One thing that we did see made official this week is that Will Bednar is going to be the Game 1 starter. He's going to start today, when y'all are listening to this, Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock. He is going to be the starter. Christian McLeod, assuming that he's going to be
He's Game 2 announced.
Game 2, okay. And then Game 3, not official, but I'm assuming Houston Harding.
Yeah.
Hootie's got to be out there for Game 3. He's had some bad starts, or maybe.
Yeah, one bad start. Missouri.
Yeah, one bad
that's
start
because
Missouri.
Fielding behind him. But
yeah, he's had really good midweek starts against Louisiana Lafayette. Really pretty good team. Really good midweek starts. Insane relief appearances. Notably the Campbell game. 5 innings and just the biggest
his
game
defining moment of his career. At this point,
literally kept us in that game. I don't think we were going to struggle to win Game 7. I don't think that was going to be a big deal. But he kept us in that game, saved pitching, allowed us to rest just a little bit.
We didn't have to start Eric Sandertola in Game 7.
Yeah, I mean, he single-handedly did that for us. And so I expect him to be out there for Game 3. Jackson Fristow could be a piece out of the bullpen going forward for us. But, I mean, he's a true freshman, and I think that arm is just a little bit shot.
He's thrown so much.
Yeah.
And remember people were being like, oh, why'd they pull him when he had the no-hitter? This is why.
Yeah.
We did all that, and his arm has...
It's still blown. I mean, it's still tired. I mean, not blown. I mean to say that. I don't think he's injured. It's just he was pitching in high school baseball this time last year, and he is now, he was pitching in a NCAA regional last week.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. But we trusted him, all year long. He's had some good starts. He had some really, really good starts and had some really, really bad ones too. But credit to him. He is really stuck in there.
A lot of people have went like, "Oh, it's Jackson mentally." It's not mentally.
No, next year he's going to be in part of the starting rotation.
Yeah,
I'm almost
he's
certain.
Probably going to be our Saturday guy if Cade Smith is our Saturday guy.
Yeah.
And speaking of Cade Smith, just want to play the other side of this. I wish he was our Sunday, game 3 starter.
Yeah.
I really do like the hard throwing right-hander. Yeah. Make him stack the lineup that way. But these guys really don't stack lineups, do they? I guess that doesn't make sense in this.
And just a little shout out for Jackson Fristow. I do really see him. He's a hard throwing right-handed pitcher. A summer in the Cape Cod League really could kind of boost him to. Depending on where they use him there, he could be a setup guy or a closer next year.
Depending on who we get in recruiting.
He's got enough velo. He's got enough stuff. I think
he's been good. At a time, people were saying he has the best slider on our whole pitching staff.
Yeah.
And has good stuff.
And Landon Sims is on our pitching staff. I want you to know.
Jackson Fristow's dad follows me on Twitter. Cool little note there. Thanks, Robert Fristow.
Followers from everywhere.
Yeah, I know. Scotty DeRule follows me now. Weird stuff that happens. Shout out, Scotty. Love you.
All right, so moving forward, and I know we talked about our super regional. We're definitely going to talk about ours in just a little bit. It'll be the last one that we pick, but we're going to go through these 7 other super regionals and just talk about who we think is going to win. We're not going to really discuss much. We're just going to give our predictions and move on. Starting with Arkansas versus NC State. We saw Arkansas blow out NC State in game 1. So do you see this going any different in game 2?
It was like first 3 innings. I was like, dude, NC State's going to win. And then I told you to turn on the TV and watch it. And then you did. And then Bob Moore, 2-run shot, and Arkansas never slowed down after that.
The last I saw was 21-1. I don't think it changed, but it could have. Nonetheless.
Hey, they didn't pitch Cops.
Arkansas won without pitching Cops. Imagine that. So, do you think this goes any different?
No, this is Arkansas in 2.
Arkansas in 2. Same for here. Same for me. All right. Texas Tech versus Stanford. We saw what people would call an upset. I think it's only called an upset because Stanford, just nobody's watched them play all year. Yeah, they're a West Coast team. They're always going to be good. Texas Tech has been beating the cover off the ball lately, and Stanford beat them. So Stanford takes a big win at Texas Tech and take a 1-0 lead in the Super Regional. I think that Texas Tech actually storms back and wins this regional.
Okay.
So they win it in 3. What about you?
I'm going to go Stanford in 2.
Stanford in 2?
Just to be fun with it.
Okay. All right. So now we have just my second favorite team in the country, Arizona. Simply because they're playing Ole Miss in this Super Regional. They're hosting Ole Miss, and they take game 1. I think 9-3 was the final. It was the last time I checked.
Not Doug Day. Not Doug Day.
Not Doug Day.
Doug did not pitch and lose.
Doug Day is tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so Arizona has a 1-0 lead in this regional. I'm going to say that Arizona wins in 3. I think Ole Miss is going to win Doug Day tomorrow or today. And then Arizona's going to come back with a big Game 3 win at home.
Okay. Our good friend, Wes Burton, lived in Arizona for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I know there's been a whole lot of talk about the heat. Wes Burton's ready for it. Rebs in 3.
Rebs in 3? Okay. I don't know. Omaha stands for Ole Miss at home again. And I just think...
Don't worry, I'm just cursing them picking.
That's gonna hold true this week. So the last game that we've already seen part of the Super Regional is going to be Vanderbilt and ECU, East Carolina. So Vanderbilt in a pitcher's duel, just one of the best I've seen in a long time.
Pitcher of the year versus pitcher of the year for their conference, right?
Yeah, Kumar Rocker, a guy that everybody's heard his name, versus East Carolina's pitcher. Can't remember his name, but he hasn't lost since 2019.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it was 1-0 when I turned it on. It was 1-0 going into the 8th inning, I think, and then Enrique Bradfield manufactures a run, and Vanderbilt wins.
Surely he didn't do that against us.
And Vanderbilt wins 2-0, so they're up 1-0 in their regional in Nashville. I'm going to say Vanderbilt wins this in 2. I think Jack Leiter turns it on and gets a win tomorrow.
I'm gonna go. Jack Leiter has some pressure on him. I don't know if this makes any sense at all. Let's say Leiter loses this one. We know Vanderbilt game 3. I mean, anything can happen. Let's go ECU. I mean, they've been a good baseball program this whole time. Haven't been to Omaha yet. Yeah. So let's get them in. ECU in 3.
All right.
I mean, win against Leiter.
They have all the momentum in the world.
Do whatever you... I mean, Vanderbilt doesn't have Sunday pitching.
No, they don't. And if they're close to closing out a game against ECU, they're going to use their pitching. So if you can escape that while allowing Vanderbilt to waste their pitching, you really do have a good shot on Sunday.
Yeah.
And so moving into these 4 super regionals that we have not seen any part of. So these are actually going to be just true predictions. And so first off is just the biggest joke of a postseason path to Omaha, Texas. Cupcake Regional. What many would say is a cupcake super regional. Texas versus South Florida.
Dude, I don't know. This is like their 4th 4-seed to play this offseason.
And with that being said, Texas in 2.
Yeah, correct. Good job, Bulls. You made it this far.
But sorry, you're
gonna get run ruled in a tournament without a run rule.
Yeah, I guarantee you, a South Florida guy is gonna do horns down, not knowing that I'm pretty sure their sign is also horns up. So I'm just predicting that. So there's gonna be a no context college baseball post about that. But Virginia versus Dallas Baptist in the next super regional. Another kind of one I don't really know anything about. Virginia's been bad all year.
Dippin' Dots. That's all I know.
Dallas Baptist has been a good baseball program for a long time, but I still don't know anything about them. I haven't watched either of these two teams play.
We don't have ACC Network, and I do not know how to watch Dallas Baptist.
Probably ESPN plus minus. I don't know. There's probably some
ESPN minus.
There's probably some subscription I could use to watch them, but I don't want to. And so I'm going to go Dallas Baptist. I think it would be cool to see a 3-seed from a regional make it all the way to Omaha. I don't know.
Dallas Baptist in what?
Dallas Baptist in 2.
Okay. Virginia in 3.
Also, randomly, they're not playing at either of these two schools because of COVID. For some reason,
good thing South Carolina's hosting a super regional.
For some reason, because of COVID, they're playing Virginia versus Dallas Baptist at South Carolina. I don't get it. I mean, the NCAA kind of messed themselves up on that one. But anyway, moving into just an insanely fun super regional, all SEC, Tennessee versus LSU. My personal favorite super regional outside of Mississippi State and Notre Dame, and I am not believing any of this LSU voodoo, and I'm going to say Tennessee in 2.
Wow.
With at least 3 walk-offs.
That's a lot right there. Maneri's not losing to Vitale and all them thugs at Tennessee making fun of their first baseman's hair. Tigers in 3.
You former LSU fan, you. Paul Maneri's career will end this weekend, and as sad as it is,
dude, I didn't know Omaha was this weekend, bro.
As sad as it is, it's not really that sad. I'll be glad to see Maneri go.
What are you talking about? He's just gonna pick up a coaching job somewhere else.
He's gonna they're just gonna switch. Maneri's gonna go to Tennessee, and Patello's gonna go to LSU.
He's gonna tell the fans, why were y'all so mean to Trey Morgan? His hair's kind of dope, to be honest.
All right, and now getting into the most important super regional of the weekend, Mississippi State Bulldogs hosting the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
Okay, so we're doing prediction and then player of the week after that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so right now we're just doing predictions. Mm-hmm. Duty Noble Magic is basically all I'm believing in here. Our teams are very similar. Team ERAs are about the same. Batting average is about the same. The only difference is we're playing right over there.
Yeah.
And that place is going to be rocking for all 3 games.
Yeah.
Dogs in 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the Dogs are going to come out Friday or Saturday afternoon, whatever it is, and they're going to win. Will Bednar is going to have a huge performance. The Dogs' offense
Bednar Bump Day.
Bednar Bump Day. You know what the B stands for? It stands for bump.
Bednar.
And and I think he's going to have a huge day. Offense is going to be rocking. You know, Cam James probably going to have a bomb or two, and then we're going to get blanked on Sunday.
Never had a series go like this.
Yeah, and so coming out, winner take all on Monday, and for some teams that could be like a just a track meet. You know, like both teams scored double digits, but I think it's going to be a pitcher's duel. You know, Houston Harding versus some random Game 3 starter for Notre Dame. He's going to look like a Cy Young winner, and I think Notre Dame's going to get the best of us. I think our road's going to end here in Starkville. I hate to say it, but I just think that Notre Dame's going to take this regional. I don't really know. It's super regional. I don't really know why, but I think that Notre Dame's going to win the super.
Okay. Yeah. Touchdown Jesus, but make it home run Jesus, I guess.
Yeah, and I hate to be the downer, but I mean, you know, I just want to be honest with my pick.
Shoot or shoot.
Yeah, I mean, in football season, I didn't say we were going to beat Bama, and I know
we came close to it.
Nope. And I know that obviously Notre Dame is not the Bama of college baseball, but I mean, I'm not going to say Mississippi State's going to win every time.
Dude,
and
Notre Dame has never beat Mississippi State in a postseason tournament in a sport.
Okay, Morgan Williams was mugged at half court. I will stand by that till the day I die. But anyway, all right, so I think Notre Dame's going to win the Super. Hunter, you think the Dogs are going to pull it out thanks to Duty Noble Magic, and I hope you're absolutely correct. Player of the weekend, one thing that's going to happen if for my prediction to not be right is what I just said. Cameron James is going to have the biggest weekend ever.
Yeah.
I think that Tanner Allen, Rowdy Jordan, Luke Hancock, Scotty DeBrule, Logan Tanner are all pretty consistent hitters.
Mm-hmm.
The first two I said, Rowdy and TA, very consistent.
Yeah.
But Cam James has been one of the most hot and cold players on our team the entire year, and if he can go out there and have, you know, multi-hit games in all three games, that is the key.
Yeah.
Because the 4-hole, or was it the 3-hole?
3-hole. No.
3-hole. 3-hole hitter with the first two guys getting on, it's runs every single time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's no way around it.
I mean, even if you advance him, Luke Hancock's coming up, and that's a runner on third at that point.
Yeah, he has to have a big weekend. I think he really, very well could. And that being said, though, another big thing is starting pitching.
Yeah.
Starting pitching, if it comes out and gives up home runs, we're going to lose. If it comes out and we're nails, then we win. You know, it's as simple as that. So,
yeah. Baseball.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
starting pitching and Cam James.
Okay, so starting pitching and Cam James. Okay. This one's going to be a little bit of a long one. We have a lot of players playing their last game at Duty Noble Field. Christian McLeod, Will Bednar, Houston Harding. Just to name a few.
Mm-hmm.
Then we go over to the offense. We get Rowdy Jordan and Tanner Allen, our most notable players. Let's do that. In 2019, we saw some magic with Jake Mangum and Elijah McNamee playing their last games there. And you just have to assume that Tanner Allen and Rowdy Jordan are going to be something like that. Tanner Allen, we know what he's at. His on-base percentage is almost 500.
Yeah.
So good. Like, even like on his like average days,
yeah,
he's one of the best players on the team. And Rowdy is as consistent as any player right now. And it's just going to be really emotional, and it'll be a great game. And for all of those reasons, I'm taking Carlisle Kessler as my player of the weekend.
I hate you.
Carlisle, I'm sorry, bro. I wanted you to be the Sunday starter, but now
it doesn't seem like it's going to happen.
Yeah. Wherever you are, I think we called you a crusty-eyed white dog one time. I'm sorry, bro. Go do something with your doctorate degree. You've been here for ages.
Go do that hockey. All right, so you've heard it here. You know, starting pitching, Cam James and Carlisle Kessler, who I don't even think is on the roster anymore.
He isn't.
He's
going to be a very supportive fan.
Those are the keys. And so, that being said, we are done with the super regional talk. We are going to move on to Instagram questions, and I'll be reading them this time. Just a little switch up.
Wow.
Just to, just because
you have Instagram.
Oh, okay. All right, so we do have a handful of questions here. The first one is from Megan, and she says, "Do they play sports at the Olympics? And if so, what are they?"
They don't have cross country. Oh,
Swimming.
Swimming.
I think they do, what is it, fencing?
Fencing's really cool.
Curling? No, that's Winter Olympics. She didn't say Summer Olympics.
I guess they do have cross country then.
Yeah,
hey, we're finally
skiing,
talking about cross country.
Ski jumping.
Megan can stop asking questions. We've talked about cross country.
Curling. Hockey.
You were a big curler, I've heard.
Yeah, I heard that on Thunder and Lightning. So Drew Robinson asked, if State wins this series against Notre Dame, who would their next opponents be next? So that would be Texas. Texas is our next opponent.
It's going to be Texas.
Unless South Florida. Please South Florida.
Please.
So thanks, Drew, for that question. Next question will be from Casey Purvis. So she says, what college baseball team has the longest current streak of going to super regionals? Okay, so if we take this from all 256 Division I teams, let's just count them off.
It's not anyone in the ACC.
It's not Arkansas.
It's not a mid-major team.
So Arkansas was bad in 2016.
Yeah. It's not a Big 12 team. Not a Big 10 team.
It's not Ole Miss.
It's not Ole Miss.
Tennessee Tech did that.
I don't think it's a Pac-12 team.
It's got to be SEC.
It got SEC West?
So I'm thinking it's either us or...
It's not Auburn.
Or Auburn. Oh, maybe Bama?
Texas A&M? No, they just fired their coach.
I think it's the Dogs.
It's the Dogs.
Thank you, Casey, for bringing that to light. And then Casey Purvis's twin, Courtney Purvis, she asked, actual attendance prediction? Question mark.
1384.
I'm thinking... it's not going to be... we're talking about actual, not what they put on the screen.
13,840.
Okay, so we'll never know if this is even right. So I'm going to say 14,129.
We have insider information that it is ticket scanned. So if you want attendance to be higher...
Tickets sold is going to be like 15,000.
Yeah.
Tickets scanned is going to be...
Just scan your tickets.
Tickets scanned is going to be 11,000 something.
No, I think we're going to try to set a record here for Super Regional.
Okay.
I think it's going to happen.
All right. Well, I think that 14,129 is going to be the number that's actually there, or actually whatever. I don't know how it's put on the screen, but it's probably going to be somewhere in the 12,000 range. But
yeah.
Anyway, that is all that we have.
Actually, I have a few Gene's Page questions.
Okay.
Okay, and this one, I know we've already kind of touched on it. Who would you start on Saturday? Well, we've already talked about that one. I think we both agree that Bednar is the choice for that one.
Yeah, I think he should have been there for a while, but finally we got a chance to kind of switch him and McLeod with their whole rest deal and everything with the SEC tournament, and so I think Bednar is the best choice for that. Okay,
and I know we've touched on this one. It's kind of the opposite. My question would be, if we go to a third game, who would you start? Let's take Hootie out of it, because Hootie's the obvious answer right here.
Yeah.
Give me someone not named Hootie.
And I know we've tried them before. I know it's gonna look silly, but if we're gonna go with something similar to Fristow,
about to do it?
I'm going Sarantola.
Highest upside on the entire staff.
Highest upside, and he's gonna have a bad day from the very first pitch.
Mm-hmm.
You know when to pull him.
Yeah, it's easy.
I know when to pull him. I know Lamonis does, and so Hootie can come in just like he would if Fristow is pitching, or you could have a 7-inning outing from Sarantola. There's
no in between.
Yeah. So I know it might sound dumb. You heard it here a few months ago, but
Eric Fan's here.
Yeah.
Big
Eric fan. Canada.
Siberian Husky. Eric Sarantola.
And so that is actually going to be it for our Super Regional episode. We're really looking forward to another weekend of Mississippi State baseball.
Yeah, it'll be a good one.
Yeah, our last weekend of Mississippi State baseball at the Dude this weekend, and I don't think that we're going to be in Omaha. That's my prediction.
You're such a liar.
But if you just saw my smile across this microphone right now, I had to do it for the content.
Yeah, do it for the content sometimes.
But it's been an awesome year in Starkville. It's been awesome. We've had a lot of memories. Thank you to guys like TA and Rowdy and Josh Hatcher if it's his last weekend. A few other guys are having their last weekend in Starkville, but big thanks to those guys.
Yeah.
It really made baseball fun for the last few years, and a couple trips to Omaha was really, really cool.
Let's do one more.
One more. Might as well. 2 games away. And so that's going to be it. And so we'll talk to you guys next week. Hopefully we're previewing another trip to Omaha, third straight, which would be, I think, one of 2 teams in the country doing that. So that's really cool. And we'll see you then. Thanks for listening. All right, so picture this. They actually let both teams have walk-up songs for this week. What are the chances one of the Notre Dame players has Ave Maria?
I'd say pretty good, honestly. I mean,
you gotta stay true to Catholicism, right?
Wait. Hopefully you can hear that on the microphone.